Hello everyone, my name is Jinwoo Im, and today we are going to be learning one of the basic relative dating principles, cross-cutting. However, in order to learn how cross-cutting works, we need to first understand how superposition works. Superposition is another basic relative dating principle. The law of superposition simply states that the rock layer at the bottom will be the oldest relative to the rock layers above it. For example, I have made a picture that shows you what a bird's eye view and a cross-section of superposition will look like. The first picture at the top will show a bird's eye view of the rock layers. As you can see, from left to right, we see the colors purple, green, blue, and red. However, at first glance it is impossible to order the rock layers' relative age. They just appear to be side by side. This is where the cross-section comes in handy. Underneath, I have made a cross-section of the picture above. The cross-section will show what is truly happening underneath the surface. We can observe that the rock layers are actually stacking over one another diagonally. From this, we can now figure out which rock layer is oldest to youngest. Since the purple rock layer is at the bottom of all the rock layers, we can say that it is the oldest rock layer here. And we can say the red rock layer is the youngest because it is at the top of all the rock layers. Now that we understand superposition, we should now look at cross-cutting. The principle of cross-cutting states that an igneous intrusion is always younger than the rock it cuts across. For example, I have made a texture map of what a bird's eye view and a cross-section of superposition will look like. I made a texture map because it can be helpful for any student that is either colorblind or blind. Those students can make their own texture maps to help them differentiate between the rock layers. Now, the bottom texture is the bird's eye view of the rock layers. At first glance, it is not very helpful. So we can look at the cross-section above. Now we can see something odd. One of the rock layers is cutting across the other rock layers. This is called a dike. If we ignore the dike for now, we can see that this looks exactly like the cross-section of superposition. We can already determine that the youngest rock layer is the sparkly gray rock layer, and the oldest rock layer is the black rock layer. However, we do not know where the dike goes chronologically. With the help of principle of cross-cutting, we can figure out that the dike, or the blue rock layer, is younger than the green and brown rock layers. However, this does not guarantee that the dike is younger than the black rock layer. Since the dike is not cutting across the black rock layer, this shows that we might need another principle or of relative dating, or maybe a bigger picture of the cross-section. However, it is important to know that there are many other principles of relative dating that may come into play. But this is the end of this video. I hope that this was helpful for anyone just learning about principles of relative dating.